Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Matt here. I'm going to make this intro really quick. Today's Band Showcase episode is with Barry Mia. They were on last year for the first time, and we caught back up with them to see what they've been up to since then, to see how the progress of Barry Mia has been going, and to just catch up with them. That being said, kind of thinking of adding a secondary Band Showcase episode every month. Just because we're getting so many band submissions, and that's awesome, and we love it. We love hearing from all of you. It's mainly us two that are running the communication end here, and so if we're taking forever to get back to you guys, we do apologize. Catch up with everyone else. That being said, to kind of catch up on all these band showcases, so everyone can get a chance in the spotlight. Here on the Punk Rock Horror Podcast, we're thinking of doing 2 a month. That we might actually be able to afford that. So we'll see how it goes, and if it's received well and it goes well, we'll keep doing it. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing at this point going forward. And there might be months where we don't have 2 bands for you. We might only have 1, but currently, this is how we're going to do it. It worked really well with Mixed Kid Fridays and last month in June, so we're going to keep that train rolling. So that being said, let's jump into my interview with Barry Mia. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Punk Rock Horror Podcast Band Showcase episode. I really need to start remembering what number I'm at with these, and I know it's not like a lot of numbers, but you know what? Everything becomes hazy. We're the only podcast in the world where the love of horror movies meets the culture of punk rock music, and on our Band Showcase episodes, we bring on bands who are underground, promising, and ready for that next big step to give them that showcase and show them to all you amazing ghouls and gals. I am joined again with the amazing Barry Mia. Welcome back, Devin and Justin.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
You have returned, and it's been kind of a big year for you guys. You've had a lot of things happen since last time you come on the podcast. You've gotten more attention around your original EP. You're coming out with another one from what I hear. You showed me a song. I won't give it away yet because I want you guys to talk about it, but it's badass. I love it. Let's talk about it. What have you guys been up to? What's in the works?
Well, just promoting this EP and this show and trying to get it ready and out there. That's really all that I can really think about is the EP.
Yeah, so this is our second EP, so it's longer, more songs. I think Take This With Alcohol only had 5 songs, and I think this might be. We can definitely talk about the name of the EP at this point, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's And Sleep It Off. So it's kind of a first part, second part. Take This With Alcohol.
Sleep It Off.
And Sleep It Off. I think we maybe touched on that maybe at the last podcast. So both will feature the Ken doll on the cover, which will be fun. More songs, like I said, we're showing a little bit of a harder edge on this next EP, which I think is pretty exciting for us. But we do still have some like stereos type songs, more like really hitting the pop punk stuff pretty hard as well. So we have songs. There's one called Cold Hard Shiny Plastic. Right along the like stereos type edge. It's one of the more fun songs I think we play.
Oh, definitely, and it's named after a Mean Girls
quote.
So
yeah.
How fucking cool is that?
I will even say I enjoyed Mean Girls. That's a really weirdly underappreciated movie.
Oh, it's fetch.
It's fetch. Stop trying to make fetch happen, Devin. It's not going to happen. So a couple things. First off, you're right. We did mention last time on the last episode that your next album, which the one that we're talking about now, is going to go with a theme. So we did mention that. But the other thing is, so you've shown me the song that we're going to be showing after this episode called Fools. And it definitely does have more of a harder sound to it. And I think it's a very welcome sound to it as well. How different was that to go in a harder direction? Because obviously in your last album, your last EP, it was still more poppy, more catchy. And nothing wrong with that at all, but it did have a lighter tone to it. So was this a real challenge to go to a more heavier sound for you guys?
Weirdly, not as much. I would say it actually made more sense than I thought it would once we actually kind of got it out there. So Devin, when he was our drummer, really came from a metal background. So for him, it's nothing weird at all. My general music taste in high school leaned very heavily towards like the Census Fails, Silverstein, and some of these bands that had like the punk sound, but also this like harder edge to them. So it really wasn't that big of a surprise to me at all.
I think the hardest thing is you going all the way up the neck to that tuning peg and going from standard to drop D.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's one of our very rare drop D songs.
Yeah.
We used to play another one called Lights, Camera, Action, but this is the only one we've ever recorded that's going to be in drop D.
Well, and I mean, when you guys came on the podcast, you were kind of the official, unofficial, like, a revolution of, like, pop punk in a way. So, and in a lot of ways, you still are that, too. And I think in today's music climate, we either have veteran bands like Blink-182, who are still doing their thing as pop punk, to a lot of mixed criticisms, or ones that have just kind of like fallen off the earth and are doing kind of like reunion shows, stuff like that. So to hear a band like Beer Mia continually come out with stuff and like be like, no, pop punk is still a thing, let's make this a thing, let's revolutionize it, it is refreshing in that way. I mean, obviously, as punks, we enjoy our fast, loud, in-your-face, like, anti-anything music, but to hear Beer Mia take on a heavier sound is kind of a big deal, and I know for a lot of musicians, to change to a different sound is a big deal. One thing I do want to also mention, though, and I kind of want to get your input on maybe some like obstacles you've maybe ran into, is that you're very independent with your records. You guys aren't signed to anyone. You publish them, you produce them, and you bring them out, and you give them out to everyone all yourself. You do all the work. I mean, what is that like to go that route of being your own producer?
Yeah. Honestly, and this is kind of a little bit breaking news for us, which is, so we have a brand new drummer.
Okay.
His name's Marcus. He's a really cool guy.
Very tall.
Very tall. Very tall. Yeah.
Are we talking like 7'5" or
like 6'7".
Oh, okay. So it might as well be.
Yeah. Pretty tall guy. But he had a friend that was actually willing to do some mixing and mastering for us. So for this EP is actually going to be the first time that it's kind of leaving our hands a little bit, which, believe me, gave me a little bit of like anxiety.
Right, because it's like you're letting someone else watch your kid.
Yeah, but that said, it's still independent. It's still us kind of like being very, very mutual with the decisions and kind of helping, kind of define what we want to see.
So you guys got a very good communication of like the end goal of where you want this to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Do we have a date when it's going to be coming out?
So,
or at least an idea of a date.
We will be releasing a song TBD, within the next couple weeks, and probably before this podcast goes out. So,
right.
I would say probably mid-June we'll have a song out there in the world, and then the official release will be June 12th, which is when...
July
12th.
Sorry,
July 12th. When
to clarify, everyone, as we're recording this, it is June, but this episode has obviously come out in July, so we're getting a little tripped up.
Yeah, so the official release will be July 12th when we do the EP release show. We got a chance to do the marquee, which is crazy and it's huge for us.
It's exciting.
We have to sell a lot of tickets, and I'm excited about that. It's really fun.
Excited.
But they have pizza. So,
I mean, that's whatever about the bands playing. They got pizza. Like, if you're going to the Barcades for the pizza, right?
Oh, that's the most pop punk thing I think probably out there. They have pizza on site.
So you mentioned you have a new drummer. If it's not touching on any sort of drama, what happened with the previous drummer? Sorry.
Unfortunately, there was not any drama with the drummer.
Oh.
But
that's all we came here for.
It kind of was a little bit of drama. He had his own personal situation. Basically, he had some family stuff back in New Mexico, which is, as we know, a different state. So he could not be here and really kind of playing around with us. He was commuting back and forth every other weekend and all sorts of stuff. That was too hard for him. So he had to stick back there, and then we found a new guy.
Well, more power to him. More power to... hopefully his personal life is getting okay and he's finding that balance. So, we're talking about a new drummer. We're talking about a new EP. Have you guys experienced any sort of attraction or anything interesting from the last time you came on this podcast?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, from last time we came on, we hooked up with Colorado Punk Rock Army, the awesome dudes over there, and gal. They're just amazing. They've helped us along the way, and they're actually presenting our EP release on the 12th of July. So it'll be presented by Colorado Punk Rock Army. But But yeah, I mean, since last time we've gained a lot of traction and just been hedging forward.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to hear that. That's exciting. I mean, you guys are playing the Marquee. Like, that's a big deal. Like, if you're not from Colorado and you don't know what that's like, that's kind of... I don't really know what I could compare that to, but the Marquee has, like, a sound name within the community here, especially in the punk rock community. Like, that is a hedgestone. That is... I shouldn't say hedgestone because that sounds like you're dying. That is a stepping stone. Sorry. That is a stepping stone for you guys to be playing the Marquee. Like, what's the next step after that, right? Like Fiddler's Green or something?
I don't know.
Hell yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Ogden Fillmore.
I'm like the Gothic.
Yeah,
the Gothic would be phenomenal.
We're gonna try to do a tour at some point, so
Nice.
that's kind of like the next thing. We have our sights set on the EP hard, and then we'll start talking about kind of the future and stuff like that.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then just talking about like big changes, we have merch now, which we didn't have before, so that's kind of cool. We have T-shirts,
Really?
buttons,
Yeah.
stickers.
Enough ground to finally justify bringing merch to the table. And like, wow, we're not going to lose 3 members in 2 months.
Right.
And now it's just me and Justin again. Or
Right.
just Justin alone.
Right.
Right, and you know, that's really kind of just like astounding, because last time we did talk about how much that this project was your 2 projects. You know, this Bury Mia was Justin's and Devin's project, and it's kind of now finally getting this traction. It's getting attention behind it. And then I came to your show down at what used to be X Saloon. It has like 3 different names now, so bear with me. I do apologize.
Antero Hall.
Is that what it is?
Antero Hall.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about it, but either way, and I hung out with you guys, and you just seemed like you're putting in all this work, and it's nice to see that it's actually paying off. That you guys are finally getting, a head up in what you want to do. You've also, I don't know if we can talk about it, but you've even kind of reached out to Mixed Kid Friday about doing a show with them, and that would be a dream show.
That'd be phenomenal, yeah. If they come back through Colorado, I mean, we'd love to hook up with them and play a show together. That'd be really rad.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
You're at Calvin and or Dom or whoever in Mixed Kid Friday is listening right now.
Hit up my DMs.
Slide in there.
Hit up Devin's DMs. Let's get this dream show in the works. Let's get this started. So I want to, and we kind of talked about it again last time, but I also want to follow up. Have you had any more drawback with still going with a pop punk genre? I mean, I know it is still kind of a hard genre to, admittedly, stay alive, but you guys are still keeping at it, and I think that's very admirable.
Surprisingly not. I mean, since last time we've met a whole bunch of new pop punk bands that
Really?
we previously didn't know about, or that they've kind of bridged their own way through, so we're all kind of going together. A couple through Colorado Punk Rock Army, a couple of me just going through different shows and finding some really, really good bands.
So
a
like
couple
the
of them. The Swifts, which we were supposed to play with this month, but that show got canceled.
Yeah.
Jail Pocket,
Jail
who we're playing
Pocket.
with on the EP release.
Love those guys.
And that's the one at the Marquee, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh yeah, we got Hello Central. Hello Central's with us on the Marquee show. We've found 1,000 Miles of Fire and a bunch of other ones that we just really kind of like, hey, let's hook up a show together. Let's let's get this pop punk stuff going, and opposed to us playing with hardcore bands. Nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
But it's a little easier going than going from something hardcore, and then pop punk, and you got another hardcore band.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have also even appeared on some other podcasts, too. I mean, not as great as ours, but... No, I'm just joking. No, seriously, though, you've appeared on other podcasts. I mean, it's kind of like you've had, ever since you guys came on, you've had this whole traction of just, like, things that needed to happen finally happening. What has that been like, being on other podcasts and being in other places to get your name out there?
Really just putting our feelers out and, not being afraid of rejection. Like, oh, hey, I'm going to reach out this way, and worst thing they say is no. And not being afraid of that rejection and being like,
Right.
well, no, we can't bring you on. Oh, okay, oh well, That's really, really all we had to kind of accomplish together as a band, and kind of feel comfortable with our music enough to be like, okay, we have, an online presence now. Let's go and let's try to use that, go, to podcasts and stuff like that. And
Right.
and get our name out there as much as we can and our music, because
I mean, you're essentially being your own your own marketing team, your own press release, and we can relate to you guys on that same aspect, because I do the majority of the marketing aspect of the podcast. But for Bury Mia, I mean, what is the biggest thing you've taken away from that? Trying to reach out to people. You've already touched on it by saying, like, not being afraid, but what has that been like for you guys to reach out and promote your own name?
Oh, it's great. I think when he told me that we got the marquee show, it was just like, what the fuck happened? Like, that's so cool, but I didn't think it was possible, and
yeah.
So it was just all it took was him saying, I'm going to try, and it happened.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So what has that like been for you guys, though, handling rejection? I mean, I know that's kind of a tough subject for a lot of bands, but
it's not bad. I mean, when you're starting out, it sucks for sure. You're sitting there and you're like, oh man, be beating yourself up about rejection. Oh, my music sucks. All this, I can't get featured. But that just comes with the job of being in a band. Is you get rejected, you get turned away from venues, from podcasts, from just interviews, what have you. And it's just building stronger with each rejection. Right. And not, letting it eat at you and sit there and be like, oh, I'm not good enough to do this.
It's kind of what they say. It's like the worst thing that anyone could say is no, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it sounds like you guys kind of taking, like, that effect of a no away from, how impactful it feels. And I think that's what brings a lot of listeners to admire your guys' mission here with Bury Mia, is that you guys are kind of against the world. I mean, especially within your genre, and I know we kind of like focus on that a lot, but it's kind of not hard. It's hard not to talk about Bury Mia and not focus on the fact that this genre, Bury Mia itself, is against the world. And with that being said, you guys, are getting fans, you're getting listeners, you're making a name for yourself. One thing I also really quick before I move on to my next question, I want to, because I didn't ask, where can people get your merch? I'm sorry.
Right now, it's all available through like DM on Facebook, on Instagram, and then on Bandcamp. So anyone can go to any of those places, find it, bandcamp.burymia, and find it right there.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. So you heard it. Go to Bandcamp. Get your own Bury Mia shirt. They gave me a button. It's a badass button. I can't wait to attach it to my vest when I get home. It's pink. It's probably the only. It is pink, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because you were telling me it was orange. I was like, Devin's either fucking with me or it is like actually orange. Nice to know it's the prior.
Oh no, I'm colorblind now. What happened?
Damn it!
Oh god, that's how it happens. Bury Mia makes you colorblind.
That's what happens.
We put claims like that out there.
We probably should put a disclaimer on the EP.
So the song that we're going to be featuring today after today's episode is called Fools. How did this come to be and what is it about?
So, I've written so many songs, but this particular one, I was just feeling like the world was this really horrible place just for a moment.
It's kind of like on fire the entire time.
Yeah, it was just like everyone is just on the internet trying to fix everything through like typing and like yelling at each other.
Keyboard warriors.
No one's actually fixing any of the problems. And so that's really what the song's about. Just like let's change the world, but come on guys, let's like do something.
Like you can talk about change all you want. It actually takes practice. Like you actually have to put the change in.
Yeah, so I think that's really what that song is about.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys have like even a little bit kind of maybe I would say bringing that Silverstein or even a Hawthorne Heights kind of like vibe into it a little bit here and there. I knew you would appreciate that. I was like, I guarantee Devin loves Hawthorne Heights.
Guaranteed. Look at him.
It's okay. I like him too. So I share that with you. But it does have that vibe, and I did make the comparison that it does kind of sound like Rescue Me by Zebrahead. And it really is kind of like a moshing, catching type of song. It's definitely leaving a little bit of your poppy vibe behind, but it still kind of keeps that involved. I mean, would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. I would say it's our very first crabcore song.
Crabcore?
Yeah.
Sort of crabcore.
It's like almost there.
Oh, crabcore.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying crapcore. I was like,
Not crapcore.
I was like, I know grindcore, like how gross that could be.
What the hell is crapcore? Bury me as bridging new genres.
You guys literally come on stage, pull out the guitars, pull out the drums, and you take a literal shit as you play.
I didn't know Gigi Allen was back.
We're bringing it back. Gigi Allen's pop punk.
Yeah.
If you listen closely, you can hear a lot of idiots that have just gotten mad at me.
Oh man, that reminds me of a Whitest Kids You Know skit. I don't know if you know that one. These guys, they go, and the guy's like, dude, you have to see this guy. He's like the punkest. He's like the most punk guy I've ever seen. And he starts playing like the most like
Dave Matthews style, like, and just starts like razor blading his chest, and we're like,
so the music is not punk at all. It's like John Mayer, but he's razor blading, and then he starts peeing on the crowd and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, yeah, this guy is the most punk guy I've ever
fucking
seen.
rock!
You guys should do that at your marquee show. Like, get a fake razor blade blood thing going on.
Oh,
Why fake? I don't know.
It's not punk unless it's real.
We're going 100%, man.
I mean, I just don't want to be like held accountable for you doing damage to yourself. You do you. Any crazy stories that have happened last time?
Any crazy stuff?
Or maybe ones that you kind of like didn't get to talk about?
Man, I don't remember what we talked about last time, to be honest with you.
I don't know. We have this cool thing. It's not really a story, but we have a song called Daisy Come Home from the last EP.
Solid song.
And there was a part where it says, everybody stop. And we've been doing this thing where we do a shot mid-song.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things we do on our set. It's just like...
You're going to be doing that at the marquee show?
We will be. And if you would like to, and you want to come on stage with us...
Oh, God, yeah.
We will do shots with everyone who wants to come on stage.
Anyone.
Are you kidding? Me and Cody would love any reason to get trashed.
You're going to come up, you got to spend time with us, we'll play music around you, you guys can dance, you guys can stand there,
and I think
we'll have some fun.
You know, and I think that's... And I know I asked about crazy stories, but I do want to give you guys this compliment as well. And I think that's like... really kind of like a great thing that you guys are very fan friendly, that you want people to come on stage. And the only reason I say this is I do know we are in a bit of a climate in this day and age where bringing people on stage is kind of it is kind of a risk, just due to what has happened. I mean, bigger names, obviously everyone can mention Dimebag, but people can also mention what's happened to Randy, and even Fat Mike a couple years back had an incident where a fan was just trying to come on to, like, you know, give him a high five, just to give him a hug, and he didn't know, and he kicked the fan in the nuts. Yeah, and I mean, he made up for it.
To be fair, I mean, the fan got to kick him back in the nuts,
he apologized, bought the fan a beer, was like, I'm so sorry, feel free to kick me in the nuts, and now that guy can talk about the fact that he got to kick Fat Mike in the nuts. So,
fair.
So who knew that's all what it took?
True.
But I mean, do you guys face that? Do you ever have that paranoia of is this going to be a risk bringing someone on stage?
No, I'm more afraid of tripping over my own cords. People I can avoid. I'm like, okay, I can see you, but my cord's black. Probably should get a different colored one so I can see it. Yeah. I'm always afraid of just tangling up in my leg when I'm spinning or something. I'm like, bonk. Oh, well, Devin's gone.
Over the last, I mean, since we last did the podcast, Devin's, like, stage dancing has been on a very much upward trajectory. So
that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. We did a show with Colorado Punk Rock Army at
Antero Hall.
Toad's Tavern.
Oh, that was Punko de Mayo.
Punko de Mayo. I don't think he stopped the entire time. He was just like spinning and like rocking and all this stuff.
No, I laid down for a little bit.
Oh, he laid down. Yeah, so that's good.
I slept it off.
Like as you're playing, you lay down.
Oh,
like, don't worry, guys. We're gonna continue the show. Just Evan's got to take a $5 for like a second.
Just gotta
keep playing. It's cool.
Breathe.
Don't worry about it. He's fine. He's alive. He's gonna be okay.
He's okay. Look, his foot's moving.
His hair will still be blonde and spiky. Don't even worry about it.
Hopefully.
Have you guys ran into any of those like horror stories of playing like just something that just went wrong last minute and you guys had to recover somehow?
Totally. The show at Moe's. Your guitar went out. Your cable.
Oh yeah, that was horrible.
Oh, that was awful. Okay.
My guitar. Yeah, my cord. We were practicing at Rocket Space. Okay. Which is, I think, a ton of Denver bands are practicing there at this point.
Oh yeah, it's even Denver's the Anchor has even been.
Yeah,
there.
Everyone plays there. we like see bands like we'll be like, hey, but I actually ripped my cord in half.
Oh.
So I was doing something spinning or something, and I ripped it in half.
So that happened at Rocket Space or it happened at Moe's?
It happened at Rocket Space, and so that was my original primary cord.
Okay.
I was on my backup cord because the show was the next day or that day or something like that.
Yeah.
So we went to Moe's. I was using my backup cord. Apparently, that one had also come just a little bit disconnected, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I ended up just like, forget it, and I'm singing just with a mic.
Oh, wow.
Which for me is weird, you know.
I mean, to not have that motion going on at the same time as strumming.
It was instant.
I've been the primary guitarist of this band for a very long time.
But that did lead into a song that's coming on the EP where you don't play guitar for.
Yeah.
So that like gave you a break from playing guitar to like get a new chord and like finish out the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that I mean, talk about optimum timing, right? Like when you need it at the most. Like that would have been like such shit luck if that happened on your first song, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah,
like,
and
this is a bass album now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Luckily, the guys can keep up so well, you know. Even though like Alex at this point knows a lot of my parts, even if he's like the lead guitarist, so he knows my parts, and he can just do the other part if he needs to and stuff. So we're cool that way. I think it's all right.
And so was in Alex, is he the drummer? The new also backup?
Alex is the guitarist.
Okay, and so was he a new addition to the band as well, or was he still from last year?
He was still with us last year. Yeah.
Okay.
He had been pretty new at that point.
This is the one that fights fires, right?
No, that was the old drummer.
Oh, okay.
That was the drummer.
Old drummer.
It's been a year.
That was drummer number 1, and then we moved on to drummer number 2, and then drummer number 2 had his family drama. We're on drummer number 3 now.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's like
you could have totally just lied and be like, yeah, whatever.
It's soap opera, right?
Yeah, stuff does stuff, dude.
Yeah, he also like fights aliens. It's whatever. It's nothing.
Can we talk about some horror stuff?
Of course.
I don't know if you guys have you guys talked about A Quiet Place yet?
Cody still needs to watch it. We're waiting to talk about it until he watches it.
Okay. I won't even talk about that specifically, but between like Quiet Place, Bird Box.
What's that new one?
There's another new
Netflix one.
Perfection?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only newest one I know of. That's kind of like
it's got the girl from Sabrina.
Yeah.
In it.
No, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of the same aspect of Bird Box.
Yeah, it's the same one.
I know what you're talking about. Because it actually has like a bit and also like a stellar cast too.
Yeah.
But what's with this thing of like these like monsters that attack because of like sound and sight, and like I don't know, it's just like out of nowhere.
I wasn't really a big fan of Bird Box. I feel like it was a huge letdown.
I thought Bird Box was. I liked A Quiet Place. But
Quiet Place, and I think maybe Cody has seen it now that I'm thinking about it. But Quiet Place, the only reason we're not going to do a review of it is just we want to give it more time because we like to bring on movies that people haven't really seen or haven't given enough attention.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't really like ruin it or like.
Yeah, Quiet Place is still like everyone kind of knows about it. Everyone's really talking about it. But I stand by the statement that Quiet Place features like Mother of the Year, like in that whole movie. Like Emily Blunt, like it's not really much of a spoiler, but I will just say she gives birth to a baby in probably one of the most stressful situations ever, and it's just
yeah.
Ridiculous.
And I was just like,
ridiculous.
Good job, Mom.
Jeez. Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, you know what? Cody has seen it. Now I'm thinking about it because he got really pissed at how it ended.
Oh, nice.
I got mad at Bird Box because I just thought, I mean, like, what a waste of potential of like creating like a terrifying monster.
Yeah.
Like,
never showing it.
Well, they did. So they did actually have an original model, and I shit you not, it looks just like the old man from the Six Flags commercials.
Yeah, I think I saw the 3D.
It looks. That was originally what he was going to look like, but they took it out because Sandra Bullock couldn't keep a straight face with that being around at all. She laughed every time. So they're like, I guess due to like time constraints and budget, they just made him invisible, and it's really a shame because when you watch the movie and you watch the guy who is like drawing the monsters, like those are 10 times more terrifying than what they would have had. I'm like, why didn't you just go with that to begin with?
Just pick one of the drawings.
Yeah, like
there you go.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Sorry.
I mean, They're all right.
I mean, I'm okay with it if we spoil Bird Box. We are saving people from watching Bird Box.
Bird Box is a Bird Boxy. I did like because it came off of a book. I did like the original ending off of the book where it was, instead of just a school for the blind, it was people that actually gouged out their own eyes to not see it. I liked that, and I was like, that would have been 10 times better because it still stays in the horror opposed to, oh, we found peace.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, did you?
Right. I mean, now you're just like a world of daredevils. So.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being blind, but...
I would choose Oedipus to Daredevil, I think.
Daredevil would fucking kill it. I mean, you pit Daredevil against the monster from Bird Box? Boom, dude.
You're going down, old man.
Sequel. Avengers is over. We can now do
right.
DC or Marvel crossovers with horror films.
Did you guys watch... Did you keep up with Game of Thrones at all?
No, I intentionally have not.
Okay. I will tell you this much. Understand why George R. R. Martin writes his stories, and you'll totally be cool with how it ends. Because that's how I am with it. And I'm going to keep bragging that because I'm so happy and kind of like, I find it hilarious that everyone is so mad that they didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after this, if you want, what happens. But.
9 out of 10 shows don't end as people want them to.
Oh, we've talked about that. Yeah, totally.
Never.
It never does.
When has anyone been happy with a show being
because
done?
you have this like expectation, especially with a game like Game of Thrones, where you've been watching it for 7-8 years, where it basically needs to be the best thing ever written put into this hour-long thing.
How is that to be a movie basically to sum up all the plot points?
And I mean, that's the thing
solved.
is that George R. R. Martin doesn't write stories for what he thinks his fans want. He writes for what he thinks they deserve.
Right.
And that totally changes the narrative.
Fair.
Well, and honestly, with as many people as were like angry that he hadn't released his like final book yet and stuff, because I know that there was like a ton of people on Twitter just like flaming him like, we need that book, what are you doing?
Oh, that dude's so rich, I wouldn't care either.
I know, but it's very possible that like he was just like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, he's like I am a millionaire.
I'm
just gonna laugh at you while I get fatter.
And then it was all a dream.
Oh man, yeah.
I don't know why that bring up that. It's only just a dream. Don't know why that came up, but
I mean, but yeah, I mean, all the movies. I mean, there's kind of like this tongue-in-cheek joke that Netflix only has the subpar horror films, and Amazon Prime is where you want to go.
Yeah, okay.
And I can't help but kind of agree with that because Amazon does have Shudder, which is like the channel for horror.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But don't get Hulu.
Don't get Hulu. Yeah, they
for horror or just in general.
Just in general.
The Quiet Place is on Hulu right now.
If you want to watch South Park,
Hulu's for TV. I mean, who are we kidding? Hulu is straight for TV shows.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
what's funny weird about Netflix is like the like really normal movies.
Yeah.
That just have like random moments of ridiculous violence. It'll be like a really like kind of crunchy drama, and then.
Right.
Someone's head gets chopped off and blood's everywhere, and then it's like back to its normal thing. Like,
I think that's due to that Santa Clara diet show.
Yeah.
I'm so mad it ended. Like I'm so not ended, but I'm so mad that they canceled it. Like it's such a good show. Like it really is unique and creative with its own storyline.
Yeah, they've canceled a lot of shows where I'm just like, man.
Yeah. I mean, don't even get me started about the whole like Daredevil and Iron Fist thing. Again. Like,
the Punisher.
We're still so
pretty bad. I'm so sad about it. I was almost halfway through the new season, and they were like cancel. I was like, they better just end this just right now.
Talk about finally putting the character in the perfect light.
Right.
And
finally good enough to be able to let's bridge out from the net. Never mind.
Guys, I love talking about horror with you. I love talking about what's going on with Bury Me and everything. We are basically at the end of this episode. Are you sure there's no crazy stories you want to share before we go?
I don't think there's anything too nuts.
Not that I know.
I wish we had something crazy.
I wish.
This would have been a great time for you to just make up something and be like, play off.
There was this one time Justin spurted wings, it flew off stage.
Holy shit.
And I was like, oh my god.
Shut up.
And then I just realized I was watching Bird Box.
Where can everyone support you guys? What can they do to help Bury Me?
I mean, definitely come out to our show on July 12th. You can get tickets via Ticketfly, DM us, and we're more than happy to deliver within the Denver metro area.
Sorry, states outside of Denver.
I mean, if you really want, I'll mail them to you. But, yeah, definitely that's a thing we want to get out. We definitely want to see all your pretty faces out there while we're playing. And then just the usual, the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram is our most posted. We're more live on Instagram than anything.
Yeah, and Spotify,
And Spotify.
Just put us on your playlists, put us in your stuff, I'm sure we fit in a lot of punk rock stuff, a lot of pop punk stuff. The new stuff will fit into a lot of different new genres that we had.
You can pick and choose your songs and slide them into your different playlists.
Yeah. You know how Spotify worked yet.
Yeah.
Also, support them on Bandcamp. Get yourself some Bury Mia t-shirts, buttons, or just kind of Bury Mia everything. I mean, get it together. That's all I can say. If you like everything we're doing, please like us and follow us on Facebook, Punk Rock Horror Podcast, or Twitter @officialprhb, or Instagram, Punk Rock Horror Podcast Official. If you want to support the show, please go to our Patreon. We have merch on Teespring. You can find all these links, especially Bury Mia's links, below. And with that being said, thank you again, Devin. Thank you again, Justin, for coming on and talking about horror and Bury Mia and just hanging out with me.
Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. Thank you, man.
Right, with that being said, podcast over.
Podcast over.
Well, there you have it. That was my interview with Bury Mia. It was a blast talking with Justin and Devin. It was great hanging out with them and talking about horror. I just had a great time, man. Yeah, their show's coming up here down in the Marquee Theater, July 12th. Please go check it out. I'm going to be down there. I know Cody's going to try to be down there. So please come and support Bury Mia if you're down here in Denver at the Marquee Theater. And if you're not and you're, in some other state, please like, follow, and support and download Bury Mia's music today. I got nothing else left to say about these guys. They're awesome to have on. I enjoyed talking to them. And with that being said, let's jump into their new single, Fools.
To change. Just not life.